Soundhound AI earnings came out yesterday, and it looks like a lot of Wall Street analysts will have to eat their hat because earnings are amazing, numbers are really good, and the mood on Wall Street generally towards Soundhound AI was not really very optimistic in the last few weeks because the stock target price had been downgraded to, I think, $8 per share. That's what we've seen. And right now, after all of the announcements, all the raised guidance, all the amazing beat on revenue and on profit numbers, we seen a genuine opportunity for a short squeeze. So we are not usually talking about short squeezes and stuff like that on this channel, but in general it looks like it might happen today on Friday and during the next week. So we will talk about all of this, but first, hello and welcome to the Market Monkeys channel. My name is Vadim. Today we are talking about Soundhound and the amazing numbers of the company. Let's start with laughing at Wall Street analysts because what they wrote just a couple of weeks ago is so different to what actually happened yesterday and to the numbers we are seeing. So a couple of weeks ago, John Fish from, I think, Piper Sandler, he put out an article where he said that we should not expect too much from Soundhound AI, that their growth is probably will be slowing down and growing and becoming a profitable company, which is one of the goals that the management of the company set for the near future. Don't worry, we'll talk about that. Both of these goals are not really achievable or really hard. So basically he just said that he looks at the stock as neutral instead of buy, but maintain his target price of $12 per share. And here's something I personally do not really understand. Like, he had a buy rating and $12 per share, and now he has a neutral rating and $12 per share target price. Like, how does it work? But never mind. So in general, the range of target prices for Soundhound AI is very wide. So we are seeing target prices something like $8 per share, and we also see target prices of $18 per share. So basically what Wall Street is telling us is that the stock can go down something like 40-50% and it can go up something like 40-50%. Thank you very much. That's amazing analysis. That's what we are paying Wall Street to do, to provide us with this accurate and precise analysis. So let's talk a little bit about the earnings call transcript, which I read, and there are a couple really cool things there. So first of all, first thing to note is that the business is booming. There are 15 large enterprise customers which are now migrating to the new platform, which is called Emilia 7. This is agentic AI platform, and 15 huge customers are already migrating to this platform. Second of all, the major breakthrough this quarter came from restaurants out kind of nowhere, because we were expecting like enterprise AIs, we were expecting car brands and like big companies like that, but no, it came from the restaurants, and the amount of deals is amazing. And second of all, a lot of restaurant chains are extending their existing contracts and kind of staying with the company for the long term. So some of the brands which I personally know, I'm not living in US, so these are just ones that are familiar to me. Some of the brands are Red Lobster, Applebee, IHOP, Chipotle, and of course many more. There are some pizza brands, stuff like that, but these are now starting to use or continuing to use Soundhound AI software, and it looks like, I will be very cautious here, it looks like it becomes a kind of status quo in the fast food markets to use Soundhound AI. This is exactly where we as investors want the company to be. By the way, quick note, I am myself an investor in Soundhound AI, so I'm trying to be realistic here on the video, but just keep in mind that like my personal gain is tied to performance of the stock. One more cool thing which came out of the earnings call is the new deals with car brands. Now, the infuriating thing is that Soundhound management are not actually naming the brands, and they have done it a couple of times already. in the previous quarters, and only a few quarters after we have discovered like that the big fast food brand is, for example, Chipotle, but they are not naming them right now. So what we know is that they have signed deals with one major Chinese car company. I'm personally hoping this is BYD, but we'll see. And with 3 major brands of cars somewhere they're not naming. So basically in automotive as well, the growth of the business is booming and everything is continuing that way. By the way, there is a cool presentation where they demo new features of Soundhound platform for automotive. And the cool thing is you're not being able to kind of navigate and ask about the weather and which route to take where and stuff like that. You'll also be able to kind of talk to your car about what's wrong with it. Like you have some indicators on your dashboard that something is wrong with the car, some warning signs, and the car will tell you based on its manual what is wrong and what's need to be done and when. I think this is kind of great and awesome. If you found this information valuable, interesting, cool, or you generally like to watch our video, don't forget to press the like button, subscribe to our channel, write comment to us, and don't forget that you can become a member of the Market Monkeys channel. Now let's talk about numbers and let's talk about possibilities of short squeeze. Now in numbers, I know you can go and kind of look at the numbers by yourself, but there is one important piece of news, piece of kind of information from the earnings report, which I really want to kind of explain. And this piece of news is why you don't need to look at the GAAP numbers and only need to look at the non-GAAP numbers. But before that, let's start with the revenue. Revenue grew a lot, 217% year over year, which is kind of the growth we are expecting. The gross profit, non-GAAP gross profit, grew 178%, which is, again, this is great because it means that for every additional dollar that Soundhound AI is earning, they're not spending as much as they did previously. So they are scaling the business and we can expect their margins to kind of grow up and scale with the business together. Now, the difference between GAAP and non-GAAP, the numbers vary by kind of a lot. If you're looking at net profit GAAP-wise, you see that the loss is pretty big. And if you're looking at the net profit non-GAAP, the loss is something like 2 cents per share or something like that. So why this difference between two numbers? The thing is, Soundhound AI has bought Amelia AI with stock, with cash and mostly with stock. So now, while they are paying for this company, they need to adjust the cost of acquisition based on the price of the stock of Soundhound AI. What this means, it means that every single quarter, accountants of Soundhound AI need to do something which is called mark to market. So they have to adjust how much they have paid for Amelia. Soundhound AI stock recently went up by a lot, so the price they are paying for Amelia AI goes up as well. And this is recorded as a net loss, as a contributor to the loss. But we kind of understand that they're not paying more money. They have to give the stock and they're giving the stock. So this is not a real expense, not a real financial expense, but they need to report this on their books. So what I'm trying to tell you, look at the non-GAAP numbers. They're looking good. So this is probably reflecting the truth and the real state of the company. Now, management on the call said that they are looking to get break even, to get into profitability in the near future. They have not said when exactly, but looking at the net loss of only 2 cents per share, we can kind of estimate that maybe by the end of this year we will see something positive there. In any case, amazing news of going to almost profitability and growing 200% per year. This is great, this is awesome. So a couple of things about the short squeeze. Usually we don't like to talk about short squeeze because like everyone, every single time some meme stock or some speculative stock goes up 5%, everyone starts talking about the short squeeze is coming, the GameStop AMC is coming again, and we will rally up 1000%, and usually nothing happens. But in this case with Soundhound AI, first of all, the short interest on the stock is pretty high. It's 33%. The days to cover is pretty low. It's about two and something days. And if the stock will rally as we think it will rally on Friday, and we are now looking at pre-markets at something about 20%, it could trigger short squeeze. It doesn't mean the stock will go to be 50 or 100 by the end of Friday, but it can bring a pretty nice gain. Hopefully this was interesting. Hopefully this was informative for you. If it was, don't forget to press the like button. We appreciate your likes very much. We even more appreciate your subscribes. So subscribe to the channel, write a comment to us, tell us what you think about SOUN, if you're holding SOUN, if you're thinking about buying it, maybe. So tell us what you think. We answer to everyone, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for your time. Take care.